Hello to all dev noobs. My name is Jacob and I am going to teach you something new and hopefully interesting about string method of the day. We are covering all the string object methods chronologically, and today is the day for the fromCharCode method. Let's get to it. This static method returns a string created from the specified sequence of UTF-16 code units. I should first clarify what does it mean when a method is static. It means that you do not need to call the method on a string object. Instead, you simply type string.fromCharCode and provide the arguments inside the brackets. Let's see how it works in example number 1. The method accepts one or more arguments that need to be of numeric value. Most of the time, the value you want to provide is either decimal or hexadecimal value, because those are the ones that are used most often with Unicode characters. But if you feel adventurous, you are welcome to use binary or any other number format. As long as you can properly signal the number format, you can use whatever you like. Sometimes you will pass the values or types of arguments that are not expected as the valid input for this method. For those situations, it's nice to know what happens, so you can modify your program accordingly. Let's have a look at how the method behaves in some edge cases of unexpected arguments. As we can see, the method tries to convert the values into numbers, and when it works, it uses that number. If the conversion is not successful, it defaults to value 0. I did a little hack in this example because the values 0 and 1 that we would get are not actually visible symbols. So all we would see in the output would be empty space. Therefore, I converted the returned character back to its Unicode value using the well-known method charCodeAdd to see what we got. The arguments for this method can be passed as a sequence of numbers that represent UTF-16 code units. The acceptable range for each number is between 0 and 65,535, which is a range of one code unit. If any number in the arguments list is outside of this range, this number is truncated in a specific way to fit into range. Logic of the truncation is as follows. For numbers below valid range, meaning negative numbers, method keeps adding number 65,536 until the value is inside of valid range. For numbers above valid range, meaning more than 65,535, method keeps subtracting number 65,536 until the value is inside of valid range. Let's see this behavior in the third example. There is a comment explaining the truncation for the given line, so feel free to pause the video at any moment to further inspect what's going on. But in general, the logic described above is applied every time the argument is outside of valid range. This ensures that only valid Unicode characters are returned as a result of the method. Now, you can see that I did not include any examples for the emojis and other characters that consist of multiple code units. That was for a reason. The characters that can be represented using only a single code unit are part of base multilingual plane, often referenced by shortcut as BMP. These are the only characters that you can get using the fromCharCode method with a single argument value. The characters that consist of two code units are known as supplementary characters. They are represented by two 16-bit code units which are called surrogates. If you need to return such characters using fromCharCode method, you need to specify the value of each code unit as a separate number in the argument list. If you provide only code point value of a given supplementary character, The method will truncate this value, and what you get is a completely different character from base multilingual plain. It sounds complicated, but the opposite is true. Let's check it in the examples below and you'll see for yourselves. For example, the facepalm emoji has code point value of 129,318 in decimal, or 1F926 in hexadecimal format. When translated into two surrogate code units, the values are 55358 and 56614 in decimal format, or D83E and DD26 in hexadecimal format. You can also write the same thing using \u prefix, signaling that the value is a Unicode code unit value. In that case, you would write it as there is a mathematical relationship between this supplementary code point value and surrogate pair of code units. But that does require some calculations and overall is not a good idea to do on your own. If you only know code point value and do not want to do the conversion to code units, you can use the method that is next in line, fromCodePoint, which accepts code points as well as code units. But more on that topic next time. Thank you for your attention, and I can't wait to be seeing you in the next video.